You never know what people are going through behind closed doors.
No, you don't.
You never know.
No, you don't.
Never
That's
know.
true.
This brother is a well-seasoned individual and tested.
Yes.
to
And don't
become.
judge me by my color.
Hey, this is the Puff Sip Chat. My name is Reggie Kimball. Welcome. Join us. You know how we do as we explore the world of boutique cigars and premium whiskey and spirits with the people who make it possible. Now, today's episode, I am filming from the beautiful Sterling Cigar Lounge in Ybor City, Florida. You know how we do it. Puff Sip Chat Repeat. You saw my man Harry K. We had a great episode, and now we came back to do it again. But this time I got some special guests. Super happy, some special guests in the house. So please join me and welcome Miss Sandra Mayo, AKA Ms. Novelty. Welcome to the show, sister.
Thank you.
All right. And we got the man, the myth, the legend himself,
Oh, come on.
Maduro aficionado. This is my brother, y'all. You know, we just met a little while ago, and we've been
kicking it like we've known each other, right?
forever.
But that's what cigars do, right?
That's what cigars do, because we have a common bond.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We have a common bond.
There you go.
So welcome to the show. Welcome to
Thank
the Puff
you.
Sip Chat.
Thank you. It's a
I've been
pleasure to be
excited
here.
about this.
Yes, I am as well.
So you guys both made it in safely.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you came on that. He had to go all the way from Orlando, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Although
I went a long way.
I
I had to pull over.
But you had a nice flight down?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Well,
Yes.
welcome,
Yes.
welcome.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I'm gonna be like a little bit of a fanboy today because I watch both of you on a regular basis, and I've been wanting to have this conversation. I thought it would be separately, but now I got you both together. So welcome to the Fireside Chat.
Yes.
Thanks for having us,
Yes.
man. Really, thank you. We
Absolutely.
appreciate being here.
All right. So I'm gonna start. We're gonna go with ladies first.
Of course.
So I know who Ms. Novelty is, but tell the world who you are, what you do.
So, Sandra Mayo first, and then AKA Miss Novelty. Also, a first is I'm a behavior health expert, and then I am a cigar aficionada. So they go hand in hand. From Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a country girl. You know what I mean? I'm very simple, straightforward, and to the point. I love cigars. I love educating about cigars. I love learning about cigars. Hence the reason why I reached out to my good friend over here because I love what he does.
Yes.
I love how he represents the cigars, and I love how he represents his platform. So Sandra Mayo, just regular schmegular girl that just loves cigars and just love bringing people together.
Definitely not a regular girl.
I was about to say, I was about to debate you on that, but you beat me to it. You are not regular, but I'll let you get away with that just for right now.
Okay.
Just for right now.
Okay.
We're gonna
No
come back
problem.
around to that.
No problem.
And so, my brother, tell us who you are. Tell the world who you are.
They know me as Maduro aficionado. I've been in the industry for quite a while. I'm a certified cigar sommelier, tobacconist. Just have a love for the cigar,
Okay.
the culture, the history, all of it.
And you do it well. You do it well.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you do it well. So today we are sipping on a little bit of coffee here. Got a little
Yes.
coffee with our cigar.
Yes.
Sandra beat us to the punch, y'all. She got a little coffee with a little extra something in it.
Cheers, team.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
so shout out to Vibe Coffee, my man Carlton, for sending some
Yes.
coffee down.
Yes.
We're drinking out of these beautiful Vibe mugs.
Yes, thank you.
And so Vibe Coffee House and Cafe, y'all check them out on Instagram. Beautiful shop, beautiful coffee, and
Yes.
I love my spirits, but in the morning, I love my coffee with our
Absolutely.
cigar. So thank you for supplying this today for us, brother. Good
Thank
stuff.
you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna have a good conversation today.
We are. I'm very excited.
Okay,
Very
so
excited.
y'all, you know, if I get tongue-tied today, don't hate on me a little bit because I get a little excited and get tongue-tied. And all
Well,
that.
I mean,
Y'all gonna be okay?
we've got to turn this back around to you because
Don't turn it back
I
around.
wouldn't be
It's
here
about you.
if it wasn't the quality that you exude as well. You match my brand. You match my energy. The
Thank you.
synergy, like you said, we just met.
Yeah.
Just met Maduro aficionada, and the synergy was already there. So that gives me so much pleasure. Gives me so much pleasure, and you've been so kind
Thank you.
and accommodating.
Thank you.
So I appreciate that. I
Thank you
had
so
to do
much.
my little plug
I appreciate
there.
that. I
Okay?
appreciate that. Hey, the feeling's mutual. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. So let's get into it.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
get
Let's go.
into it. So
What you got?
Yeah, what
I
you
got a
got?
few things. So I'm going to set the stage today, everybody. We're going to talk about the history of cigar smoking. I got a few questions for these two wonderful individuals. We're going to talk about the female perspective on cigars. So I want people to hear that from you, Sandra. And then we're going to talk about what's happening today in today's cigar smoking world. We can get into that a little bit. And a little touch on the future, where we think everything is headed, because this world has exploded over the last few years.
It is.
And so let me start by saying, how long have you been smoking cigars?
I've been smoking cigars for about 20 years now.
20 years, okay.
20 years, but just getting into the knowledge and the education of it, really deep diving the last maybe 6 or 7 years.
Okay. Well, you've done a lot pretty quickly.
Yes.
So I would say 6 or 7 years since you've been a part of the industry.
A part of the industry.
Before you were part of the culture, now you're in the industry.
Yes.
Okay.
Part of the industry.
And doing big things.
Doing big things.
So NAACP awards, I got to hit that right.
NAACP.
That was a big.
You got to give it to her.
Yeah, you got to give it to her. So you were the official cigar aficionada
for the NAACP Image
Okay,
Awards.
and how did that even happen?
Well, relationships,
Okay.
being kind, talking to one individual. It's about the education and the knowledge, which usually draws individuals in, because if you think about it, when you talk to the average Joe, they don't know anything about cigars. They just know it's a stick and older gentlemen are sitting on a porch and they're smoking cigars. But when they see a female smoking cigars, it just opens up a whole nother area of conversation.
That's right.
So again, one relationship led to another, another. The fascination of, like we're going to talk about the perspective from a female aficionada, it's not heard of. And when we were at the NAACP, so I got invited because of that.
Okay.
Because they've never seen it and they wanted to elevate the award show. Because again, the surprise factor was just everything.
Okay.
Like the celebrities have never seen anything, a woman smoking cigars, and with the caliber of class that I exuded. So.
And so you bought the culture.
Yes.
How we do it.
Yes.
And the vibe, shall I say. You brought that to the NAACP awards.
I mean, you could not. The looks and the ahs and the oohs, I was not expecting that, because they've never seen it. They've never seen it.
Wow.
The celebrity, they've never seen it.
Did you have to teach a film how to smoke?
I did.
Okay.
I did, but they wanted to smoke because they saw they heard about what cigars do, and the delicacy of cigars.
Okay.
And so it gave me an opportunity again to bring people together and to elevate their understanding of the cigar culture.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you talked earlier about the mental health aspect of what you do. That's your day job, so to speak.
That's my day job.
One thing I always get challenged with, my day job is in technology. Everyone knows that knows me well. I always have a hard time sometimes making that transition. How do you make that transition from the day job to being Miss Novelty?
Well, it isn't a transition.
Okay.
I just changed clothes.
Oh.
It's the only thing that I changed is clothes.
Okay.
The mindset is the same. The mindset is the same. You're meeting people where they are. You're meeting people where they are in both ends of the spectrum. When I have my behavior health hat on, individuals are coming to me because they're out of a need.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
When I am Miss Novelty, they're coming as well as a need. They want to understand either the product that I have, or they want to understand why the product that I have do this, that, and the third. On the mental health side, they want to understand, why am I like this? Why? So being able to answer the questions again in the manner where it resonates with individuals, I just change clothes.
There you go.
I just take my heels off and put on my sandals, and then I get my cutter and my torch, and I go on and do what I do.
That's where I was going, because what I do, I just light a cigar. That's what I change. When I change up, I light a cigar, because I can't smoke during the day when I'm focused on business. But that's good. That's beautiful. And mental health is, I admire that, because it takes a special person to do what you do.
Yes, you have to be patient. You have to be understanding. And again, meeting people where they are is very, very key. Very, very key. Because we tend to judge people by appearances, and we don't listen. We don't listen. We really listen, because we're doing too much talking. And that's one thing that I had to conquer within myself, because I always look at myself and say, okay, how can I improve on what my craft is? Which is, again, I have to keep referencing to him, because I can't be the smartest person in the room. You know what I mean? If you want to grow. And that's what that's how I transition, is my mindset. I don't transition as far as what I'm going to do, because that's always the same, the delivery and meeting people where they are. But me to become better, I always look for opportunities to become better. So talking to different individuals, even to the clients that I have, they make me better because I have to listen. You never know what people are going through behind closed doors.
No, you don't.
You never know.
No, you don't.
Never,
That's
never
true.
know.
And you're segueing that into your own foundation, Sandra's
Yes.
Giving Heart, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pause right there, but I want to hear about that later. Before we
Okay.
break today, I want you to tell people what that's all
Absolutely.
about.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, sister. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
So,
Thank you.
to my brother here, Mr. Maduro aficionado, tell me the meaning behind that name, man. I know what Maduro is,
Yeah.
but your thoughts behind it.
Oh, well, when I chose the name, it was basically because of the leaf. Most people know Maduro, it means ripe, it means mature,
That's right.
right? But what people don't understand, those of us that are in the community do, but is the leaf Maduro goes through a different process than the other leaves. Now they all go through curing and fermentation, but that Maduro leaf is the one that's in the sun the longest. Right? It's a leaf that's a little bit stronger in texture compared to the lower leaves. It's also the leaf that has to go through the most stressors, going through the process of becoming Maduro to get to that darkness and that oily stage in the leaf. It has to be put through so much temperature changes of heat. And then that leaf has to be piled on top of each of the other leaves, in a pile until it reaches a certain amount of temperature, unbearable amount of temperature, so we can sweat out the starch and become sugar. And then it's done again, over and over under this stressor. And then in the end, when it comes out, it's a dark leaf, which is intimidating to a lot of people by the color of it.
That's right.
But if you try Maduro,
The
you
most
find out
flavorful steak, in my opinion.
Maduro is not so bad.
So basically what he's saying is that this brother is a well-seasoned individual and tested,
Yes.
fire tested.
Yes. Yes.
You've been through some battles in life.
Yes. Yes.
And don't
Become-
judge me by my color.
Because I was gonna say you're more like a Connecticut, which is a great cigar too. By the way.
Yeah.
No, brother, thank you, man. How long? Obviously, you probably go way back in the cigar world as well, right?
I've been smoking since the 80s, but if I tell you how long ago I was smoking cigars, it'd be illegal. I started when I was young, but what got me into cigars in the beginning was what I used to hear about my grandfather. I've told this before, but my grandfather, fedora all the time, well dressed. But the image I always remember is that he always had a cane. And when he went out, he would unscrew the top and pull out his cigar. And when I was growing up, I always had that image in my head, well dressed. He smoked cigars. And my grandfather was a jack of all trades. He knew his art. And he would sit down with his children, like me when I was a little boy, and he was like, hand me that tool. Use that. No, not right. Do it again. So I learned a lot from that process, and it always stuck with me.
Oh, wow. So you've been at this a while.
That wow.
And how long have you been Maduro aficionado? When
Well-
did that journey start?
Using the name has only been since the pandemic.
Okay.
And during the pandemic was the most important thing that happened to everyone during the pandemic, the shutdown. We had time to collect our thoughts and realize that we are really a rat in the rat race.
Yes. It made us all take that step back.
We need to take that step back.
Reevaluate everything.
Yes.
And that's how the idea of me going on social media became part, because I was like, there's a lot about this that's not being discussed.
Yes.
And I would like to share that.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to do it as make a business out of it. I just wanted people to know, there's more to this. And that's what started me doing it on social media. But as
Okay.
far as in the background, I used to work in financing for cigar companies.
Okay.
And then from there, I got into signing NDAs with a lot of companies to give my consultant on the blends. And that's pretty much where my passion started, with the access, the breakdown of the cigar, what I think of it, what I think needs to be added to it, it's just the way that it's constructed.
Okay.
And I would give my opinion
Wow.
quietly in the background on a lot of different companies.
Okay. All right. So when I look at you, I see you, if I were to summarize who you are and what you do, is I would say you are an educator.
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Part educator, part philosopher around the cigar world. I don't want to put words. Tell me, how would you describe yourself in a nutshell?
That's a good question. I'm still learning.
Okay. All right.
I'm taking the journey. Literally, that's what I say when you indulge in anything or do it for a while. You know, I wouldn't say expert's the word. Student.
Student.
Always
we are all
learning.
We are all still learning.
Moving forward, sharing, trying to share. So that's it. And try to find a way that we can have conversations.
Yes. Meaningful conversations.
Meaningful.
That's right. That's beautiful. So let's get into the history of cigar smoking, man. One thing I know about you, so I've been looking at my brother right here first, is that I know that you are a historian, and you talked about being a student of this thing we call cigar smoking, this culture that we created. If you were to kind of take a step back and someone said, you know, how did this whole cigar thing even become a thing? Where would you start us at? I want to talk about, let's say, the last 30, 40 years in the United States specifically.
I think what did it was the embargo.
The Cuban
Embargo did a lot of things. It set the cigar industry to search for something else other than Cuban cigars. And you started to see the change of palates and the search for something more than what we were getting from Cuban cigars. The thing is that Cuban cigars, as of today and 20 years ago, I've always said this, I don't care, and people can get upset at me, Cuban cigars are not the same as it used to be. We're not even getting the quality of Cuban cigars anymore.
What has changed to make that?
What has changed is that the demand has been so much on Cuba, and they can't produce it fast enough. They have a lot of issues with the crop. They have a lot of issues with the hurricanes. They have a lot of issues with the experienced rollers that have aged out.
And there's no new generation coming up.
New generations coming in, but they're not able to have the mastery of the cigar. Also, the fact is that Fidel Castro had hands-on. He was hands-on with the cigar industry. And since he stopped smoking, that's a quality control person right there. But also, Cuban cigars that are being pushed out into the rest of the world, I've said this before, there was A class, B class, and C class. A class goes to places that we don't even know that is away from the rest of the industry. So what you're getting is sometimes you're only getting C quality Cuban cigars. So that has caused a change because people are starting to realize something's missing. And the companies such in Nicaragua, in the Honduran, I mean, you can name it, the Dominican Republic, all these places are pumping out quality cigars that doesn't not need. Another problem with Cuban cigars, when you buy it, you have to age it.
Yeah.
Nicaraguan and all these cigars are coming out. The tobacco's already aged.
Yeah, it's already ready to go.
So.
One thing that kills me is when you talk about the Cuban piece of it is, and we talk about some of the novice smokers out there, right? And I don't like to make fun of anyone. But nothing bothers me more when you hear that person that says, "Oh, I only smoke Cubans."
Right.
We all heard that.
Yeah,
right?
we
I
have.
only smoke Cubans.
Yeah.
Like, do you even know what you're talking about?
Right. And where you getting the Cubans from?
Yes.
You know? Let's talk about that for a
Yeah,
second.
because even the
counterfeit.
Cubans that even sometimes you think you're smoking Cubans, you're not really smoking Cubans.
You're smoking a lot of counterfeit Cubans. Even when you go to Cuba,
That's right.
if you're not getting it from a registered place, you're getting Cuban cigars, and I hate to say it like this, but literally they're in the factory scraping up clippings and rolling it. And I cut one open and just hearing it. You know, so you got to know what you're getting.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
But see, the thing is, the fact that he would cut, who does that?
No.
But I'm saying, who you have to love
Yeah.
and really want to really understand to be able to think about cutting open a cigar.
To see what you're doing, what you're dealing with, right? This man is deep.
Yeah.
I got
A lot of people do it.
along those lines. I met some veterans in the industry that claim that they can cut open a cigar, take some of the tobacco out, the leaves out, and chew on them, and they can tell you where. Have you heard of that? I won't name names.
You have to be been doing this for.
These are
Ever.
people that have, all fairness, these are people that own tobacco farms.
Yeah.
fields, that
Right.
Now, if
they
you
can-
own a
they can
tobacco
taste it.
farm,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're someone that's just,
Right.
yeah, a lot of us know the soil. You go to
Right.
a farm and they can break down to
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, there's different regions in say in Nicaragua, you got Candela, you got Esteli, you got Jalapa, these are all different regions, and they should be able to say Jalapa,
Yeah.
Esteli,
Yeah.
they should be able to do that.
Well, I tell you, I want to speed us up on something real quick. You started in the 80s smoking cigars. I smoked it in the 90s, started smoking in the 90s. One of the things about this culture, it's exploded right over the last probably 10, 15 years, but we all been smoking a while. But when I started smoking in the 90s, and I'm born and raised right here in Cigar City. This is home for me.
Right.
Only been back a year, but this is home for me. I did not see a lot of sisters. The Sisters of a Leaf, when I first picked up a cigar, my father put it in my hand. For me, it wasn't a known thing. But now, it's wonderful, Sisters of a Leaf. The industry is, matter of fact, I would attribute part of the explosion, a big chunk of the explosion, to women such as yourself.
But you know why though?
Tell me why. That's
Yeah.
why that's what I'm getting at.
It's the money for the industry.
Okay.
It's the money that we bring. We are going to spend. We're going to spend on things that we like, and because it's out of the status quo, we're going to do even more. I did it I don't have to go back to how I started smoking, but it was the basis of a celebration. Like when we closed the deal on one of the properties, because my family, as general contractors, we build houses. So when we sell houses to the individuals, we celebrate a celebratory cigar.
Yes.
So that was kind of like, oh wow, this is awesome. But the perspective of a female smoker like myself, I smoked because I was curious about it. And I started liking it. And where I smoke played a factor as well. So when I go to the cigar lounge, I met people that I wouldn't normally meet. And then the mindset was different from the individuals that I had congregated with for years. So that was intriguing to me. Now other females have their reasons for smoking cigars or whatever the case. But for me, it was the camaraderie. And I'm gonna spend again on what I like. I like
right.
shoes. I like my hair to look nice. I like my nails to look nice. And I like a good stick.
That's right.
So again, all of those attributes combined, is the reason why I like smoking cigars. Because again, it's upgrading, it's scaling up, because you never know who you're gonna meet. When you walk into a cigar lounge, everybody checks their titles at the door.
That's right.
And the main purpose is this cigar. Then it leads to other things.
That is
right?
why we are here. And all of a sudden it leads to new friendships,
Yeah.
Friendships,
new
yes.
business collaborations.
That's-
100%.
All those things starting
Yeah.
to take place in the lounge.
But it's different from a female perspective. Again, I'm only speaking from my own experiences. There's upsides to it, and then there's also downsides to it because I'm a female. So there's it's a blessing and a curse from what I've experienced, and I guess we can go into that a little bit later.
Well, yeah,
But-
because I'll be honest. I mean, I think a lot of men cigar smokers, right? This has traditionally been a male-dominated industry in the world, and I don't think a lot of men knew how to take the women when you started smoking and
No,
started coming to the
no.
lounges.
So
and
I think
hanging
you
out.
should tell them about
Yeah.
Tell them what you face with other men.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The challenges. So this is kind of like the downside, but it makes me better. It makes me better. I get challenged a lot. On my knowledge of cigars, down to like, okay, so, and I was just telling Issei, who's with me, my novelette, and she said the reason why she likes coming out with me is because my customer base, they're going to make you talk. You have to know. And I've got all women. I've got one novelty king, but I have all women. So they are going to challenge you all the way down. Once you answer their questions, and to me, the questions are very broad. They're not really deep, but they just want to challenge you on it. And they look at you. They don't smile. They look at you for that purpose because they try to break you down. And I look at that as a cultural type scenario.
Time for us to get educated a little bit.
A cultural scenario. Yes, I get asked, and if it's not a sexual connotation, which is what I get, and some people, I mean, it is what it is. They come.
They thought you were just a pretty face. Just came to the lounge to hang out, looking for a guy.
Yeah, looking for a guy. But that's the misconception.
Yes,
and that's
it is.
what I try to change with how I do and how I promote and how I market. He talks about the education of the cigars and all the different aspects, the knowledge and the understanding of the cigars on his platform. Very professional, very crisp, very clear.
Very.
With me, more so, and my team told me like a couple of years ago, you gotta talk more because I'm more of a visual person. I do the videos, I have all of this. So I had to change that a little to let the end user know that I do know what I do know about cigars. I do know that. I do know. Hence the conversation here, because I want women to understand these challenges are going to be there. It is what it is.
That's right.
You just have to be ready.
That's right.
You have to be ready.
That's right. Well, you're changing the game.
That's
And sisters like you are changing the game.
I want to add something to that. It was very important because knowing a lot of women owners or women that are in the cigar industry, they come up with the same problem. A lot of men, first when they realize that they're dropping some science on them, they get offended.
Yes.
They want to walk away from them.
Yes.
And that's the end of the conversation.
Yes.
But you know what's crazy about this is only here in America. Because the cigar culture,
that's right.
Women have been in part of it. You tell my great grandmother, my great aunt, she doesn't belong. She's been smoking cigars longer than men.
I'm so glad you touched on this because it's new here.
Yes, but historically,
historically it's not new.
No. And historically, when you look at videos or watch people who's rolling in the cigar line in the factories,
who do you
see? Look at it closely. It's women.
It's women.
Yes. Yes.
They're not only rolling, they'll have a lit cigar right next to them.
They're smoking the cigar right like this.
Yes.
Right? Their hand.
Yes.
Something that's not told a lot of times is that Davidoff, for example, a lot of the big companies, there is a special part where you have to grade the cigar. You have to make sure that the wrapper looks the right color. Only women are allowed to do that. Why?
Why?
Because they see color.
Right.
Better than men. And they're the masters at that. They're the only ones that do that.
Wow. Right. And women have, not the country.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Women have smaller hands. So when they roll more precisely.
That makes sense. My big old hands, they ain't getting, I don't even want to think about trying to roll a cigar.
So what I'm saying that for is that we need to take this thing, this ideology that's trying to sneak its way into this. Women belong in the cigar industry and have been from the beginning.
And women are, at least especially in recent history, what I've learned is that women are far more studious about the cigar than men are. A lot of guys just smoke because they just think they want to smoke, but they haven't gained any real knowledge of the cigar.
No.
I speak to a lot of my sisters of the leaf, and they can break a cigar down. And it almost mirrors the normal, the mainstream world. When I say that, women are more educated and women are graduating from universities at a higher rate than men, all of that. And then so, of course, it makes sense that when you get into cigar smoking, you're going to do it at a high level.
There's also cigar etiquette, too.
Yes.
It's from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
When you're promoting and marketing cigars, or when you're at a cigar event, when you're, have a clientele, when I get booked for different events. The etiquette comes with understanding who you are as a female. So I have all female crew. I have one male. But when a couple comes up to the table or to where my cigars are displayed, I teach my ambassadors, talk to the woman first. You have to talk to the woman first.
Talk to the woman first.
Okay, you talk to the woman first, and we as women will give that contact, like, okay, it's okay to talk to them, but you have to understand relationships. You have to understand, again, the overall of what our role is as women. So it goes beyond cigar smoking. It's cigar etiquette too, in order to gain that trust with your end user.
Yes.
So being a queen and smoking a cigar is different from being a female and smoking a cigar. You know what I mean?
That's
There's
right.
a difference.
There's a difference.
And that's what I want to display, and that's what I try to display. And actions speak louder than words. So hence the videos, hence that you're not going to see my ambassadors. We're going to be fully clothed, but we're going to be classy and sassy.
Yeah.
But again, I have to lead by example. So
I appreciate you doing that too, because I want to talk to some of my sisters of the Leaf. I love all y'all, but some of y'all ain't selling cigars. I'm just gonna stop right there. And that takes us to like the current trends in the industry, right? So right now, the last 10, 15 years, I'll say 15, cigar smoking has just, there's been this resurgence, right? It's almost been cool. It's become cool. It's gone beyond people like us who are more, we're aficionados. We just enjoy it. We've celebrated the culture for a long time. Now, into current time, some people say, it's kind of turned into a party now.
yeah.
And that to me, that feels like where we are. You go to some cities, I love Atlanta. Atlanta's my home. But it's a party in Atlanta. But some people say, I don't like that. Some people say, you know what, that's okay because it brings light to the industry. Where do y'all stand on that?
Well, see, there you said you could tell. You're seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I took the first year of really being serious, getting into the business of cigars, the first year to go to, as I just told Issei that, to go to as many cigar events that I could possibly go, so I can see the different perspectives. So I like to party. I do like to party, but
Who doesn't like a good party?
Listen, but the end results of that party, I've got to get something out of it. I'm 55 years old, so I can't just I can't just do that. I have a daughter, I have nieces. I want to build generational wealth. So every party that I go to, I have to have a purpose.
That's right.
So during my birthday, like he was a special guest during my birthday.
I hate that I
party.
missed that.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was.
I know it's great. I had to
it
be
was
great.
amazing.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was amazing. A party with a purpose. So, I mean, I can't say anything bad about, the DJs and things like that because I like to party. But within that, where do we elevate and educate? We have to because we don't have time. We don't have time.
A perfect example, like what Sandra is saying. Like when I went to the event, she went there, right? We had a great time. We danced,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
We drank, but when we got down to business, socially and connected.
Yes.
We connected with so many people. I was introduced to, this person's coming out with the wine.
Yeah.
And someone's coming out with a vodka. We shared, just our point of view. We support one another. I think that's another part that should always be added. I'm not saying that it's not, but I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
It added another level,
Yeah.
some depth to it, some substance
Absolutely.
to it. That's right.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
I agree. I agree.
Nothing's wrong with that.
No, I love it. I love it. Like as I said before, the taping, like I can't be the smartest person in the room.
That's right.
And the business of cigars is a business, and it's about relationships. Preserving, first initiating and preserving, and then growing on those relationships.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So people want to see this. There's a lot of us that want to see this because, and we're waking up the individuals that want to see this. So there's power in numbers.
That's right.
So just imagine if all of us got together. You know what I mean? We want to bring people together. That's why we do what we do.
I'm loving it. I could do this all day, right?
Yeah, I know. And we're just talking, right?
Right,
just talking.
we're just talking.
It's not like we're like,
No, we're just having a conversation.
No,
And when you
absolutely.
talk about the current day and where we are in society, there's a lot of new cigar smokers, right, in the current trends. One of the things that you told me off camera, before we even got here, was that one of the things that you wanted to do was find ways to reach out to the younger generation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new smokers.
There's a lot of new smokers, and that's another reason why I started doing it on social media. Was like, I want you to learn it right. Not saying that I know it right, but that way you can speed up the process so that, sit with me, man, we can talk about the cigar.
Do you find yourself connecting with a lot of new smokers, a lot of younger smokers that are coming into the industry a little bit?
It's twofold. What I find, and one of the things I think I had mentioned to you, want to find ways to reach the younger generation, men in particular, for me.
Okay.
And what I found being in cigar lounges, being the older cat sitting there smoking a cigar, a younger brother, doesn't make a difference what race they're from, they will sit with me. And while we're talking about this, they're asking me life situations.
That's right.
And that's what I really want.
Yes.
That's the part
It's
of
a beautiful thing, man.
I mean, and they're sharing stuff that, as men, I've always said this, there is no playbook on how to be a man or a father.
No.
When we were growing up, we were winging it.
No, you're
Our
right.
fathers were winging it. They didn't have time to do that. They were busy trying to work,
That's right.
find the job, keep the job.
That's right.
Put food on the table, make sure everything was working out.
That's right.
So they didn't get to give us that other part. And I see a lot of young men searching.
Searching for that.
They're searching for that. And I want to be.
And some of them are gravitating
Yes.
to this world that we're
Yes.
It's bringing us a chance to get to talk to them.
in. That's right.
Yes.
That's
And
right.
that's what I really want to be able to try to do.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
we don't
other
do
part.
that enough.
We don't.
Especially amongst young black men. We just don't sit down and have those conversations enough. Women are much more in touch with their feelings than we are.
So
Yes.
And
perfect
but
example.
we put this wall up as if we can't speak.
Yes.
to
We were
one another.
taught that way. We were taught, suck it up,
That's right.
quiet, handle it.
That's right.
Right? And sometimes that has worked against us.
No.
Not in our favor. I was in Texas 8 years ago. I'll never forget this. And I was going with my wife and daughter. We were going to eat breakfast. Young brother was driving the vehicle, picked us up. They got out. We had a wait time. He said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And I said, "Sure." And my wife and my daughter left. And he said, "I never forget this," because he was like, "I want what you have." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I like the way you talk to your daughter. And I like the way your wife talks to you. I have a new baby. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't want to mess this kid up." And I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And we sat down in the car. My wife's looking at me like, the table's coming. I'm like, and we sat, and he started crying. And I shared with him me growing up, me having a child for the first time, my fears, what I was worried. I said, "You're going to be okay, bro. You're going to be okay. Just trust in that."
That's right.
That moved me.
That's powerful.
That he took away all his fears or macho-ness to say, "I was afraid. I'm afraid."
When my oldest was born, I was scared to death.
We all were.
I was scared to death. And when my second one was born, I was scared to death even more because now I got a young man to raise.
You understand what I'm saying? You're not.
Yes.
When my daughter was born, I never forget this. My father-in-law came to me just before she was going to be born, and I was like, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready." He said, and I never forget this. He said, "You'll never be ready. Take that out of the equation.
Yep.
Just do it.
You'll never be ready.
You'll
and you'll
never. No
stop
matter
being-
what you say,
Yep.
I need more money, I need more time, I don't have the time." You're never ready.
You're
But
never
you're
ready.
a man, you're going to do it.
You're gonna do it. You know, one thing I
Stuck.
learned too is my mother taught me this too. Because I always say, I'm 55 years old myself, just like Miss Sandra here. And to this day, my mom gets on me like I'm a little kid. And she's like, "You never stop being a parent." And I said,
Yes.
"No, that's not true. You got to leave me alone." Now that my
No.
kids are older,
You understand,
I'm like,
right?
"You never stop being a parent."
Yes. No.
To the
Yes.
day,
No.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, right?
It is.
There's no right or wrong way. Well, there's wrong ways, but there's multiple right ways to parent children. But I always say at the end of the day, when your kids are grown and become adults, and it says, are they productive citizens? Are they good people? And do they want to come back home to see mom and dad?
That's
They
the
don't want
other
to come
part.
back home to see mom. You might have messed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Do they want to come back home and see mom and dad? And that's like a test.
That's the key, and then the key is also spend as much time with them when they're young,
Yes.
because that development age, Sandra can tell you,
Yes.
she knows that.
Yes.
You have that small window for that little thing that you just came into this world
That's all right.
to help build them because I think their personality and everything that they're gonna have
Yeah.
is like after 8. Is it 8 or somewhere around? there?
Yes. Yeah.
After 8, they're pretty much
They're
going to be
set.
who they are.
Yeah.
So if you can invest that time right there.
The
Yeah.
biggest kind of regret I have in my life with my kids is that I worked in tech, I was a consultant, still work in tech, and I traveled like crazy to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's
but
like
I
what we're
also took
saying.
time away from them when they were young, and I hate
Yeah.
that. So
And
it's
it
like
goes so quick.
and it goes so fast.
Oh
I missed
my-
out. I feel like I missed out on so many little moments.
So that guilt factor,
Yes.
I understand that firsthand because, again, being one of 10 kids, 7 girls and 3 boys,
Big
I was the
family.
first one
Uh-huh.
to have a baby.
Okay.
And I was brought up in the traditional household, same mother, both parents, in a faith-based home. So me being pregnant out of wedlock was a taboo. You know what I mean? However, my daughter was born in the house, and you know what that means when your
Yes.
child is born in the house. She has all of that guidance from everybody in the
Yeah,
house.
the whole village is there. Yeah.
I was determined I was not going to be on welfare. I was not going to be, I'm not going to be the status quo for having a baby out of wedlock or whatever the case. So I worked. I worked 2 jobs. 2 jobs when I had my daughter.
You made things happen.
I made things happen. When I'm an alumni of Shaw University, go Bears.
All right.
I took my daughter to classes with me because I had classes at night and I worked 2 jobs during the day. I took my daughter to class with me because I wanted to make sure that I had that bond there. I kept it as much as I could.
Right.
Now, when you know better, you do better. And I would have done a lot of things differently now that I know.
We all would have, right?
You made things happen.
Listen, I'm here.
Yes.
And one of my hashtags is, I'm just glad to be here.
Right.
My daughter is absolutely wonderful. World-class athlete. Now she's a fashion designer, going to be featured in New York Fashion Week and Paris
Oh
Fashion
man,
Week.
that's incredible. I gotta check that out. You gotta
Yes,
send
New
me
York
that.
Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week. She moved from LA to back to North Carolina. Now she's going to be moving to Atlanta
Okay.
because she's the new personal assistant for the rap artist Ludacris.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
Say that again.
She's a personal
That's
assistant
big.
for Ludacris, so I'm
There you
very
go.
proud and happy
She's making
about that.
moves.
Oh, dang.
She's making moves, which means I'm going to be inserted into that world so that I can spread this knowledge of the culture to those individuals that have it misconstrued. You know, I had an opportunity to talk to Rakim the God. He's had cigars in his videos from the time that we were coming up back in the 90s. He just was smoking a cigar. No significance of it, he just liked it. But when I talked to him and educated him on, cigars and this and that, he was like, wow, I've been smoking cigars all these years. I want to get you to come and da-da-da-da. So not only I can, spread the knowledge of cigars, but again, I'm meeting people where they are. And like he said, he had that opportunity to talk to that young man. When I go to different shows and when I do different events, women come to me that are broken on the inside, which is why I say you never know what people are going through. They come with a smile and by the time they leave, they're crying because I listen.
Yes.
I listen. They have to go back to a broken home. They have to go back to their abuse. So cigars is their haven. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And with me talking to them about them and uplifting them, I say go back home as a new person. Here's my number. Here's my personal number. You can call me. I'm here for you. So it's about the cigar, but then it's not about the cigar. It is about bringing people together, but it's also about healing as well. So that's what it's all about for me. When you ask that the initial question, how do you change hats? This is a perfect example of my hat doesn't change, it's the outfit that changes. Because I'm all about healing people. I'm all about learning. I'm all about it just gives me so much joy when someone walks away with a smile after I've wiped their tears away. And that's genuine. I'm as solid as they come, I promise you.
There you go.
Love it. Learning so much from both of you. And if I were to ask you a question, as we start to move forward in this industry is continuing to grow. Doesn't show any signs of topping off or falling off, right? I think more people than ever have discovered the value of cigar smoking, right? In the community and the relationships that are formed from it. If you had a magic wand and you said, this is what I want to see happen in the next 5 years, what would it be? And either one of you can jump in and answer that.
You could do and I'll do from a woman's perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
What I would like to see, I'd like to see a lot more boutique cigar companies get a lot more limelight.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to celebrate the boutique cigars.
Yes.
That's
Because
what we're doing.
exactly right. That's another reason why I was so glad that you asked us to come on. Because I've been listening and watching you. Is that okay? Everybody knows who the big boys are, right?
Perdomo, love Perdomo, but they don't need our help.
Right.
They don't need our help at all.
And what I see that they're going to be doing, I love all the brands that are making it. So don't say anything that I'm not saying anything correctly for you. I love you guys, but it's time for other guys to get a bigger play.
Yes.
At least getting introduced to the community, because there's a plethora of cigars out there
That are great.
that people that just do not know about,
Yes.
and they could use the help. And we should try to bring them to the forefront as much as possible, because they have some good sticks out there.
Oh, some
There's stuff I
phenomenal
can't even
sticks.
talk about because I'm working with a lot of people that have NDAs, but there's some good stuff coming out. But they need to get to market. And what happens is that when you're a good cigar and you come on the market, you're going to get gobbled up.
Yeah.
You can either get bought out or crushed.
That's right.
Let's be honest.
That's right.
So what
They
we
will
need to
keep
do
you
is
out of the lounges. They will strategically work to keep you
we're
out.
telling the truth, right?
right.
We're talking about it. So that's what we're doing. So
That's right.
Yeah.
And we need to find a place to get those guys up and out,
That's right.
so we can get it to market and get it into our hands,
Yes.
to get into our hands.
I love that. That's what Puffs of Chat is all about. Even on puffsofchat.com, our whole goal right now is promoting boutique cigars.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do. So I love that. That's beautiful. Sam, and
Just
what
to
do you think?
expound on the limelight of just getting the boutique cigars out there. In addition to that, getting the perspective from a woman's perspective out there as well. Cigars, $26.4 billion a year industry. $26.4 billion. 26 point
With a B.
Oh yeah,
billion.
Billion
Right.
with a B.
and growing.
And how much of that consists of the boutique? How? So it takes
Not a lot.
individuals. No, it's not. It's
Not a lot.
not. It's not. And to see a pretty face that's knowledgeable come into that equation is going to help propel that brand and get a slice of that pie, because again, boutique cigars are kind of like the perspective of a woman. Getting women out there that's promoting and marketing these cigars properly, and from my vantage point, as a woman, promoting it properly, understanding what it means, what is a boutique, explaining to dispel all of those misnomers about, the woman perspective and a woman smoking cigars. So thank you, Reggie, for this
you.
platform, because this is exactly what is needed. And I'm so sad that you're leaving. But you're not. And I don't know.
I ain't
I'm
never
sorry
really
if I'm-
gone. I don't really claim it. Like, I don't know if you like.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. I'm sorry. So just to sum it up, just the limelight of females smoking cigars properly,
Yes.
the right way,
Yes.
and then the type of cigars, like you said, the boutique, because like you said, the bigger manufacturers, they don't need a woman or a man. It's just there.
They've built their brand already.
They've already done it.
They are in a place where everyone else aspires to be. already.
But you know what's so funny? Look up what consists of the definition of a boutique cigar. Some of these big companies are still calling themselves boutique cigars.
They are.
Yeah.
The definition I heard from Dr. Oscar Rodriguez, I'll throw him out there. He said that the way the BCA, the Boutique Cigar Association, defines it is if you can sell more than 1 million cigars a year.
Jesus Christ, really? How is that possible?
That's what he said.
That answers the question.
He says that's the most common definition.
Right,
May
so-
not be the only,
Who
but
made
that's
that up?
the BCA, the Boutique Cigar Association.
but
But
think
a million,
about
but
that.
Is that realistic though?
Oh, the big brands sell millions. plural.
Millions.
Yeah, but boutique, is that really?
So when you think of boutique, what do most people
That
think?
means most cigars are boutiques.
Right,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Now you-
There's no differentiation.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying. So the little guy is not considered boutique. What's the little guy called? The little guy.
So we need to come up with another name.
Yeah, there you go.
right?
It's
You know what I'm
not-
saying?
it's not.
I really think when I
Right.
think of boutique, first thing I think of is the new guy, the
Yeah.
guys that are coming out that have nice cigars, like just getting in, they're just getting a foot in the door. You know, not these guys that are selling millions of cigars.
Well, I might have said that wrong.
No.
Million is plus is you're not a boutique when you sell over $1 million.
Look that definition up again, brother. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised at
Really?
how it knocks down those. You know, some of them don't like to be called boutique, and some
Yeah.
like to be called boutique.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, oh, okay, how about we just get you to market? You have a good stick, and let's get you out there.
You have a cigar.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's good.
And it's good.
Yes.
Because
You
there's
have
a lot of bad cigars that are out there. Let's talk about
Yes.
that.
Unfortunately.
There's good
Yes.
cigars and there's a lot of bad cigars. When
Yes.
I say bad, dog rocket cigars can be whatever you want to call it. But, you know,
Oh, man. So, Sandra, what's next for you? Where are you going in the rest of 2024 and beyond?
Well, I've got a lot of bookings for 2024 and 2025. My idea is to bring brand awareness to the novelty brand for the individuals that have never heard of novelty, and to get a better understanding of novelty. Okay, I'm going to really push my nonprofit, Sandra's Giving Heart. I'm going to push that because I have a passion for people, and also survivors of sex trafficking, which is what my nonprofit
That's what
is.
it's focused on.
Yes,
Okay?
yes. Again, getting in that echelon of individuals that don't know, and also echelons, and I'm not talking about high, I'm just talking about in general. I want to reach as many people as possible. So yes, I love the NAACP. Yes, I love the Steve Harveys. Yes, I love all of that. But my end goal is to make sure that individuals understand my assignment. My assignment is to bring people together so that we can create generational wealth.
and she does that
the
well.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
She
That's
does
the
that well.
bottom line.
Well, what I love about what you're telling me is that you have a plan to get there. Because I'll be honest, right now, every other person you meet, they talk about generational wealth. But how many have a plan? How many? Because it doesn't just happen by you
No.
saying it out loud.
No.
You have to
No.
actually have a plan and a strategy to get there, and that's what I'm hearing from you.
And it's a tangible. I have to get down there and beat the pavement. I've got to touch people. I've got to break those barriers of poverty, mental poverty. I've got to break that, and I'm going to do that, Reggie.
I know
And
you are,
Maduro aficionada.
I know you will.
One cigar at a time. I promise you.
and we're here to support you.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Beautiful.
I appreciate that.
Beautiful. What's next for you, brother?
I really want to bring those boutique cigar companies to market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of branching out and consulting,
Okay.
helping. Another part to the thing, there's a lot of people out there
I have
trying
some
to get them
ideas.
to-
I'd love to talk to you about
Well,
that off
hey,
camera. We're talking.
You know, consult them on the level of understanding how to go about doing, how to pick the tobacco, figure that out, how to get that brand going. There's a lot of things in there that can cause you to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a great idea. You may even have a good stick, but can you bring it to market? And you need to get with people that understand it's in the industry that can help guide you. That's not being done.
That's not being done.
Some
have
people
to
are
figure
keeping
it out
it
on their
Yes.
own.
Yes.
But you're doing that because don't you have a book?
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
working. I'm working on a book.
Help them out. Help them out. Let's go.
I'm working on a couple of books actually in the cigar industry itself, helping the person that's starting out, just your journey, and also just trying to get it together to help create a business structure. Just as if you were to start a regular business, you need to know how to do that. You know how to do the paperwork. You need all that stuff, but you need to figure out where it goes from there.
That's
Right.
right.
That's the plan.
All right. That's
Have
beautiful.
contingencies.
And Puffs and Chat team is here to support.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
This has been incredible.
Yes.
I'm so impressed by both of you. Thank you for coming on the Puffs and Chat.
Thank you for having
I
me.
hope
Absolutely.
those at home that are watching this episode like, subscribe, comment, and go check out Ms. Novelty on Instagram. Go check out Maduro Aficionado on Instagram. Beautiful people bringing knowledge to the game and celebrating the culture, more importantly, in the right way.
Absolutely.
Thank you both. for
Thank
being
you,
on the
brother.
show.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
as Ms. Novelty dropped earlier, this is one of the last episodes that I'm filming in the States for less than the next 3 or 4 years. So I'm going to announce it here for those who don't know, because I said I would do that today.
I'm
is
sorry.
that the Puffs and Chat is going international, y'all.
Yeah.
I will be based in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in about 3 to 4 weeks from now. and it's not going to stop. We're
There
going
you go.
international. I have relationships in Dubai. We'll be filming over there. And believe it or not, Riyadh has a very vibrant cigar culture.
Yes, it
so I'll be
does.
filming there as well. Going there for my day job, y'all. But then the goal is to keep it going. And we have a lot of contributors here in the States that are beginning providing content for the Puff Sip Chat platform to keep going. And we'll still be the home of the boutique cigar on our website, where you can get all the latest brands and let us know what you think. All right.
Awesome.
Thank y'all for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Sterling Cigar Lounge for hosting us today. If you're ever in the Tampa, Florida area, you gotta check out Sterling Cigar Lounge on 7th Avenue in Ybor City. One of our newest lounges. Phenomenal, great service,
Beautiful.
great people, and great cigars. All right. So until next time, I'm here with Miss Sandra Mayo, Miss Novelty, Maduro aficionado, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
And I'm Stickman number 1. Until next time, peace.
Hey, this is Stickman number 1. Thanks for listening to the Puff Sip Chat podcast. If you want to hear more great episodes just like this one, please hit one of those donation links below. We could really use your support. Also, please visit us at puffsipchat.com for some cool Puff Sip Chat swag. Until next time, Puff Sip Chat repeat, baby. I'm out.